Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome to Wednesday night Maker Hangout. I'm hoping our host shows himself so that this isn't quite so awkward. No, he left. Well, welcome to Wednesday night Maker Hangout, the premier home for all of the best makers. And it's just me right now.
I had to make it. I had to make it a
Well, there
little
it
awkward
is.
for you. How you doing,
Ah,
Will? Thanks for starting off the stream.
oh, absolutely. It's a delight to be here, and I'm doing all right. What about yourself?
Oh, it's inventory week at work, so everything's a little
Yeah.
flustery. So
How often do you have to do inventory?
once a year, but the prep
Ah,
for it
yeah,
takes a month.
yeah, absolutely. I
So
uh, I worked retail for a time, and I had a similar inventory experience.
right,
Um,
yeah,
those 2 a.m. days where they're like,
that's what
"We'll
Friday's
reward
going to
you with
be.
pizza." I'm like,
Yep, it'll be like
"Okay."
that, but I'll get to work at 9 a.m. Friday. Officially close at 6, and we start inventory, and we're there till somewhere around midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And then we're off
Jeez.
for 3 days. But it's it's rough. It's a very long day, and by the end of it, you just want to go home and sleep and take a good shower and then sleep for 2 days. So
Yeah.
it's
And
the
then it
one
starts
part of
back up.
the retail side of life I don't like.
That's the only part.
No, it's only what it's only once a year, but it's a headache. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Um, do you have any prints to show off?
I mean, nothing fancy. Some fidget cubes.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to get them printing better, and unfortunately, as we were talking in the background, you're having issues with Vorons. I'm having issues with Prusus.
I see. What
So,
issues?
uh, when I print more than one, they start coming off the bed. The corners start warping because the cooling is being affected by printing more than one.
Hmm.
And I'd like to print a full plate of these, but in PLA too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'll get it. But
Say, what's your take on sequential printing?
I've done it.
Printing all the way up
Mhm.
for the
It's awesome.
audience's benefit,
Yeah.
where you print one at a time,
Mhm.
but they're all spaced on the same bed.
Yep, I do that with my TPU tracks for the Death Racers
Yeah.
because TPU strings, as we all know,
Hmm.
and the less time you're spending moving between items, the less stringing. So I can run 9 of them on the MK3 with space
Yeah.
at a time and come back, and 9 are done perfectly as long as your clearances are right. Now, you also have the issue of bumping into parts. You also have to think of, especially in Prusa Slicer, because Prusa Slicer, the first part you put in there is the first part you print. It may not be the first part you want it to print.
It's true.
And
I've
you
learned
have to,
to have to rearrange my parts so that
Mhm.
it prints front to back,
Yep,
just so it
exactly.
doesn't run into that cable.
The other thing is when you're printing a lot, you may want to offset them because you get the rear x-axis bars that'll run into a part when it's moving or going to the next one.
Hmm.
And that may be tuning the spot, but I've used it. I like it. It's great when you're trying to test things like bridging on various printers and trying to tune. For instance, I was printing label holders for work for part spins because
Yeah.
everyone right hand writes on them. I'm like, no, we're using labels now. And the problem was you print them face down, so you have a space and you have to bridge it. The problem is standard bridging settings don't work. So
Hmm.
you go and you make take the file, collapse it down to just a little bit, and print 5 or 10 at various speeds, various temps, various this, that, and the other, and test until it's perfect. And that gives you the ability, instead of just testing one, you can test 5, you can test 10, you can get to that point. And it's usually useful when I'm tuning things like my Vorons or other printers, trying to get them up to the level of quality that I expect when I print, it really helps.
Yeah.
You know,
Makes a lot of sense. I like the automation aspect for testing.
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Sequential printing on the belt printer is a lot easier. You just load as many prints as you want
Yeah,
and hit print, and then all of a sudden you got a pile of stuff.
that's phenomenal. Do you have like a bucket under there that it all pops
Nope,
into? Ah,
nope.
that's
I
fair.
have that thing's so lightly used, except for the issues I was having. It's actually
Yeah,
going to get this shelf is going to get moved up. I need space for the recently acquired CR10S Pro V2. I did not pay a penny for it. Had some
nice.
issues. Have some parts coming to fix it. I'm going to see if I can get it fixed with the parts that are coming and some spare parts that I have lying around. Then I will continue to put money into it to make it good. I might actually convert it to a switch wire. We'll see. But if not, I will make it work the best I can and try to sell it. Or hold on to it to Rocky Mountain Rep Wrap and sell it there because we'll have a swap meet table.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm somewhat interested in that.
Yeah.
I don't need this many printers in my life.
How many do you
Is
have?
what I'm. Let's see. I have. Uh, I mean, excluding the ones I've been building for the local maker space, the ones that I have are 5 printers at the moment, and I think my ideal number of printers to have is 2.
I
I
go with
want
3.
3. Why 3?
Well, printers like to go down in pairs.
I hadn't considered that. I've only had problems with 1 at a time, so
You're
I
lucky.
see what you mean.
I'm only supposed to have 5. Somehow I have 7.
That's rough.
But I
Oof.
got 3 free this year, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of
2 of
hard when
these
you
I got for free, and
right.
not the biggest fan of them. But usually, uh, I I like to be printing 2 things at once because that's my maximum load, and often my prototypes, I want to test a couple styles.
Right.
They don't fit sequentially like we were talking about earlier, and a third, that's for a friend, a
Right.
lender.
That's exactly.
Um,
The third is the having fun printer.
yeah, I like the
That's
concept of that.
that's a big thing to make sure you have. Is a
Well,
printer that is yours, not meant for the projects, for the stuff that you don't design, that you just pull and print, that you don't have time for.
yeah, I am so excited, and waiting with my breath is bated, and I'm preparing for my Prusa XL.
When did you order?
So I ordered maybe 10 or 15 minutes after it was announced.
Okay.
I should be pretty, pretty forward in that line.
You they're still shipping day one orders.
Oh, they will be for a
Mhm.
while, I get the impression. And
Yep.
and I'm guessing that my breath will be bated for quite some time.
Mhm.
Um, however, I also have a Mark 3.9 upgrade kit for the Prusa uh,
Eventually.
uh, coming in. Yeah, and
So those upgrade kits are driving me nuts.
really, why is that?
Well, so I ordered day one within 15 minutes
Of
of it
course,
being released for the MK4 upgrade.
yes,
It still has not shipped,
yep.
and that it's going to be a while.
I think it will be. I've heard that they've
That's
increased
an issue.
their staff
Yes. Now
quite
that's
a
not
bit.
the issue so much. The issue is that they didn't realize that there's 3 different options or a ton of different options of power supplies, beds, whatever.
Yeah,
And so instead of saying, "Hey, here's the survey," like they sent out, and we'll start shipping. They, from the communication I've had with their support team, um, they are waiting till the end of tomorrow, business tomorrow, and they're investigating. They've shipped a few here and there, but they haven't shipped the volume that they were supposed to. So
Okay.
they're investigating the issue. And I asked them, am I going to see it by the end of September? And they said, probably.
Sure.
It's a little disappointing
That's
considering
interesting to hear yours. Yeah.
they were supposed to start shipping the MK4 upgrades July 10th.
Yep. And
And
the Mark 3.9 upgrades. I originally ordered a Mark 4 upgrade, but I then talked to them and I'm like, you know what? I don't really care about the visual banding. Like
right,
I'm printing in Galaxy Black anyway.
right, exactly.
Nothing, no visual things will ever show up on my prints.
Right,
But yeah, my the 3.9 was a few weeks after the Mark 4 upgrades, and
Mhm.
I'm hoping that, once they get this stuff up and running, their stock can keep up and we'll
right.
start seeing it pretty quickly. But yeah, I like it is
It-
difficult to deal with these shipping times, especially since I've been waiting for this XL for
Ever.
years now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
I originally bought the XL because I thought it would be helpful for my grad school career.
Right.
And now I have graduated.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. It's
kind of funny.
unfortunately frustrating.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough to not be in a pinch at the moment. You know, I've got printers, I'm working on
Right.
stuff, and I have the production ability that I need. And
Yeah.
I I'm very thankful that I didn't jump the gun on, donating or donating any of my printers to various places because I would be I would be out of luck.
Yes.
But
Sorry for the sneeze.
I really enjoyed seeing my local makerspace's new Mark IVs.
Mhm.
What a delight. The
Yes. I've
prints
heard
that
good
come
things.
off of those things
Mhm.
are beautiful,
Mhm.
and it's effortless. It's such a godsend for spaces that have a large, number of users working on the printers, so
Right.
that not everyone can keep in mind the eccentricities of each one. They just they just work.
Right. And
Um,
that's the whole idea.
yeah.
But it's
So
frustrating. And I went with the MK4 because for the $50 difference, I'm like, okay,
sure. Yeah.
it made sense for my use. Plus, I didn't want to buy another printer. If I had wanted it right away, sure, I would have ordered a full kit.
Just the straight Mark IV. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I um I just I wanted to take this one apart anyway,
Right.
so I wanted that enforced enforced
Yeah, and
maintenance of
that's the
sort.
idea. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't mind, you know, taking stuff apart and putting it back together at all.
exactly.
That is my one of my favorite things. But
I I'm really excited about the idler design on
mhm,
the Mark IVs. Have you seen
yes,
this?
yep,
Nice. Yeah, like the
it's going to be interesting. I want to see how it does with like 75A TPU
sure.
because I'm
I
running a
mean,
Blondtec and a Mosquito on this one.
right.
It works just fine, but on the stock MK3s, it does not work so well.
For sure. I mean, I'm hoping that because the Mark IV has that very large scale pusher gear for the filament,
Right.
and everything I've ever run on was those Bondtech gears, which are, about that big, and come at it from both sides, sure, but the concept of having more surface area to push at a time is very attractive to me. And also, they did the smart thing where they separated the releasing the idler action from the idler tension action.
Mm-hmm.
So especially in large maker spaces, when you have people messing with that idler all the time,
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
gonna have a consistent, enforceable idler tension, no
Right.
matter who touches it. Oh, what a treat!
Yeah. It's going to be. You haven't tried GPU on any printer? I can tell you 68 TPU does work on a stock MK3 at 5 millimeters a second.
Yeah.
Very slow and agonizingly slow. But
it's so dangerous for your build plate too.
No, 68 TPU is not that bad for your build plate.
Really?
At least
I mean,
textured TPU, it's not.
oh, sure. Yeah, on a
The
textured plate,
build
sure.
plates,
I was
on
gonna
solid
say,
plate,
I was talking with a friend of mine who was printing TPU for the first time, printed it right onto their glass plate, took up shards of glass when he peeled it off.
just like
Jeez.
PETG.
I mean, it makes it very attractive to print on fabric because you get
Hey,
that
John.
wonderful
Let me get it.
attachment. Hey, what's up?
Hi, bud.
But boy, can it be stressful to get those TPU prints off of a bed at the end. You never
Right.
know how much it's gonna, you never know if you're gonna have to buy a new build plate today, and that's what scares me.
I always have spare build plates anyway.
That's not that's great.
Tripod, check your Twitter messages, whatever they want to call them. And if you want to join, there's a StreamYard in there. Yeah, I have a problem with this printer where the Z end stop, something's wrong. And every time I print, the offset's just a little bit different or a lot different to the point where if I set it at the same as like it should be, all of a sudden it'll dig into the bed on the next run.
Terrifying.
So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I've actually blown through hundreds of dollars of plates, and I'm trying to print production parts. And so this plate currently, I'm glad to grab it and show it. Give me just a sec. This plate has some gorgeous destruction in it.
It's I mean, that could just be your new logo and you could write it off that way.
Right. So
wow.
That's the plate I'm currently using because until I figure out the issue, of course, then the Trident prints perfectly every time. Because, just the way things have to be.
It's a little slow, but I do have absolute positioning now configured on my Trident. So it has a physical switch.
Yep.
And it knows the distance between the physical switch. Well, it probes the nozzle, gets that position, probes the switch to get the distance between the nozzle and the surface of the switch, and then probes the bed using the switch. And using those three measurements, it can determine the exact distance between the nozzle and the bed. Even if you were to change the nozzle, change the bed, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I've got that
working.
You're not
gonna have to talk about that.
It is almost as nice as Prusa's Nextruder's style of doing this, which just has a direct measurement, and that's what's getting to me these days.
And like we were talking pre-show, and borons are meant to be tinkered with. They're not. What I heard from Doc and Max, that was the guy's name, one of the founders as well. No two warrants are ever going to be exactly the same. They're all a little bit different. Even if you get the same, you get 5 of the same kits from LDO, they're going to be a little bit different. Everyone's boron is your boron.
It's the same thing as Linux distributions. I feel like, and there's pros and cons, and I love working in Linux, but because it doesn't have that standardized architecture, it creates these difficulties that you need the know-how to be able to deal with, and I love and hate that.
Right. It makes it interesting, but it's not for everyone. I get a lot of people, what should be my first printer? One, depends on what you want to print.
Yeah.
2, depends on if you like to mess with things. 3, even with a perfectly workable printer, you're still going to have to mess with something at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it's an MK3, Prusa Mini, Soul SV07, 6, whatever, a million different options. You know, Enders, Crealities, whatever, any cubics. Everything at some point is going to need, either right off the bat or at some point in the close future, was going to need something.
What do you think is the best for everybody first printer to own right now?
There's no easy answer to that.
Play with me. Give me an easy answer.
I don't have one. That's not.
That's fair.
Amanda,
I mean, I'm going to give it a shot. I want it to be low price.
Yeah,
I want it to teach you things.
Right.
And I want it to work at least for a bit right after you get it.
That's a hard one.
It is.
Really
yeah.
is.
What I want to say, and you know, what I've been saying to everyone who asked me recently, is the Mark IV. And
yes and no, but the problem is price. A lot of people getting into this hobby don't want to spend a bunch of money. They don't want to come in and spend $1,000 on a printer. They want to come in and spend $250. Usually, everything I hear is $250 to $300. In that ballpark, it is closed source, correct?
For the Prusa?
Anchor, no, for the Anchor Make.
I see.
I
did say Tripod's Garage
put someone towards like a Sobel SV06 or something like that. There's so many printers coming out.
You've got to have I'd say direct drive or Bowden doesn't matter. If you're starting out, both is fine.
I would recommend direct drive over Bowden because there's a lot of retraction issues, but it costs more.
But price. These are the trade-offs we get. Like the things I'm not willing to sacrifice for price are you know, I need to figure out a way to narrow that down. And I think that direct drive is one of the things I'm willing to sacrifice for price.
Right.
Now, automatic bed leveling is, I'd say, right on the line.
Very important thing. Yes.
I've seen, you know, I've talked to people who are like, I don't need auto bed leveling. I level my bed and I know it's level because I do it. And I respect that a lot. I've talked to a lot of Ender 3 V2 users and V1 users that are just like, it is an ideal machine for me, and it cost me very little money. And I was very surprised to hear that at the time. But you know what? They rock it. They do a good job with those machines.
Ender 3s.
But I'm not willing to sacrifice my wonderful peace of mind bed leveling and
yeah, I agree.
It's just so nice. I never want to level a bed again.
Right. I get that. Yeah, none of mine except really the belt printer.
Yeah,
is the biggest. Even the CR10 S Pro V2 that I got.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's not hard mounted, but it's like there's still the wheels. I'm gonna hard mount this bed.
Yeah. I would say
simplicity does matter more. I agree.
Automatic bed leveling was like an obvious integral part of a printer 2 years ago. Now it's an obvious, like if you came out with a printer that wasn't automatically bed leveling right now, I'd say that would be a huge misstep.
Yes, heck, even the Ender 3 V3 it has auto bed leveling now.
Exactly. So like
that's going to be standard on every printer very soon if it's not already. But
I agree.
You still have the Ender 2.
But like if you're looking for a deal, I might like maybe for the next 2 years I will have this opinion. If you're looking for if I encounter someone I trust asking me, Will, is this worthwhile? And
Right.
they point over their shoulder at this printer that I wouldn't be caught dead with, but might just work for them, and it doesn't have automatic bed leveling. For the
Right.
next 2 years, I'm going to say, sure. For
Yeah.
a very low price, you can deal
Mhm.
with it. I trust you to do
Right.
that. But that's going to change once these are
Right.
no longer in the rotation.
Yeah. It's and it's different for everyone. It
Yeah.
really is.
And Amanda Macias has a good comment. I didn't say luxury printer, I said starter. And that
That's
makes
a
a
hard
lot of
one.
sense.
And the starter is everyone's different in the money of starter.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will go out and buy a Bamboo P1S for $700. Some people go
Mm-hmm.
get the Ender 3 or the whatever at Micro Center or Amazon. I started with an Amazon printer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I bought a printer. Was 2016, 17? I ordered it. It was a Monoprice Maker Select V2.
Hey, what was your experience with that like? That I remember this being the printer. I was like, oh wow, it looks
It
so
was basically a
professional. It
Wanhao
looks
Duplicator
clean.
i3 clone.
Ah, wow, that's very interesting.
Yes, and that's exactly what Anchor Make, which I haven't had any experience with. Bamboo is an appliance at that point. It looks like a microwave. Hey, Digital
Yeah,
Dragon. I think I sent you
Tito Tarantula. I'm gonna look that up.
Yep, I remember that. I know that printer.
Not really familiar.
And yeah, so I spent a lot of time and money futzing
Oh yeah,
with the Monoprice. Spent a ton of money
that's what I
making
heard. Just
it
these.
better, and it never got to that point where it was truly great. And then I bought a Prusa.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was I'm done with this Prusa and all that. Luke, your link is in your Twitter. Oh, your Twitch. Okay. Early morning. All good. Yeah.
So
Functional skills agreed, but not everyone wants to tinker. Not everyone wants to mess with the heart and soul of the printer. And we've got ourselves a Dwight man. And this guy
Hey
could talk
guys, how are
about
y'all?
first printers, Hey,
yeah,
Sergio, have a good night. Yeah, Dwight could talk about the best first printer,
ooh,
starter printer.
Lawmax, my favorite
what was it? The
favorite
lot.
printer still is. Matter of fact, I'm still working on a project, guys. That do you remember the squishy ball thing I wanted to do? This like airport $20 stress ball thing.
Right.
As
So
the
I
feet
started.
for the printer. I don't remember this project.
Okay, well, let me catch you up real quick. It'll take like 7 seconds.
Perfect.
So I wanted to make my own stress ball out of 95A. Let me keep my light up here so you guys can see it a little better. Let me turn my lights on in here. Sorry it's so dark.
Oh, of course, she goes away as soon as. Oh, look, face cam.
Oh, yeah. You're killing me. Okay, so this was actually my completely enclosed stress ball, right? Squeezable, 95.
Oh,
and he's gone. And that's the end of Dwight.
we'll get him back.
All right,
Yep.
so
That's cool.
This worked okay, but guess what? I had a couple of failures. Like it just would decide to layer shift and make a big damn mess. But it turns out it's a better stress ball. Let me get this up to the camera.
Oh, when
so
it's
you can see it.
open. Sure.
Right. So you can actually see the grid pattern in it. So if you squeeze it this way, it's pretty simple. But if you rotate it by 45, it actually becomes an exercise ball because you're going against the grids.
Huh.
So I've started playing with different depths on which ones I wanted, like how tall I actually wanted it to be for the right amount of fill. And so I've taken it to a couple of the businesses around here that I work with on a regular basis. And these guys know I'm always playing with goofy stuff. So I handed it to them and I said, tell me what you think, whether you wanted to go this route or this route. And all of them love this. Everybody does. It looks cool. It's printed. It's squeezable. It's hard. My arm, I mean, it actually overworks my arm. It's too much. And of course, I made smaller versions of it too, little ones, which these suck, by the way. You need a vise to squeeze those. But the one that's the grid, everybody's like, can you make me one? One, I flatten the bottom. So at this size here, it'll actually just fit in your pocket. So you can pop it out and just work your stress away. Anyway, this is how, when I need to decompress, I come do stupid stuff like this. And Lot Max. So you were talking about the first printer. I don't feel like moving my camera and stuff around. A Lot Max. I don't remember what version this is. Shark V3.
Yeah,
it's my very first printer. It's definitely not my cheapest printer, but it is my favorite printer when I just want to experiment. And when I make a lot of gaskets for all kinds of stuff. It's the Lot Max. That's it. Yep. Exactly, right there. The laser on it sucks. The engraver is horrible.
I've heard that.
But as a printer,
multi-tool ones.
Yeah, you can do all kinds. I mean, it actually is pretty cool. Just the laser needs to be upgraded. The function of it is great.
Oh yeah.
The laser itself is shit. It's the best way to say it.
They have a
shame.
But I will tell you this, guys. Yeah, I'm thinking about grabbing another one because because I make gaskets for water wells and for water well pumps. You have a windmill that pumps water into a pond to keep cows in. Gaskets aren't available anymore. Some of these pumps are 200 years old.
Oh yeah.
So the new old stock is right out of the box. I mean, cracked and everything else. So I started printing my own gaskets, and I mean, that in itself is a viable business, and I could probably actually stock people's shelves with it if I marketed it. To be honest with you, I just don't have the time. But for my customers, well, they're also, a lot of them are my family and friends that are also my customers, but I focus on that side of the commodity. Nobody else is. Nobody's doing anything with it.
This is water, right?
Anyway,
right.
That being said, how you guys doing? I mean, I love your backdrop. I swear, that looks so real.
Wait, who are you?
Yours.
Thank you. It is an idealized image. It is not quite in the same state because got a quick admission to make with my little peek behind the curtain. Yep. But
so I said I love your backdrops. They're incredible.
Thank you. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, here, let me get my print to show off for the week.
Yep. Let's see. Move him. Click the button.
I have a so actually let me get the previous version. Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
We're waiting.
I know it's stressful. The risks of showmanship. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen this one before. So this is a flexure mechanism.
Oh yeah.
That I worked on when I was working with Lockheed Martin on my capstone for my undergrad. And its original purpose was you've got your lunar lander module, right? It has a set of tubing that connects up to the flight module in space, and they have to mesh and exchange coolant between them. Problem is, when you bring that lander module to the moon, you encounter this terrifying substance known as moon dust. This stuff is nasty. Not only is it razor sharp, and it'll just it's incredibly abrasive, but also
I've got some. It's incredibly abrasive.
No, that stuff is horrifying. So
you know what?
It
I
also
played with
is
a little bit of it
charged.
on a cloth.
I
played with a little bit of it on a cloth and rubbed a window pane with it, and it scratched the hell out of it. Incredibly. It's some amazing stuff. I've got about a half ounce of it.
That's I mean, hey, that's extremely expensive. We had trouble getting simulation moon dust And
Oh,
yeah,
good
but
Lord, dude. Seriously, I still have a couple of unopened vials here. I need to send you one if you want one.
I would love that.
I'm not sure exactly where I have them right now. I dig them out and I'll send you one. Yeah. Dude, it's
that
fun to
would be
play
a
with.
real treat.
You got to be careful with this stuff because
Yeah.
it's not like flour. If you get it on your fingers, you can't just dust it off once it gets
Right.
airborne, it just hangs there.
Yeah.
And you don't want it in your lungs. You end up with silicosis in your lungs. So it'll tear you up.
Maybe don't send it to me. But imagine this stuff getting into your cryogenic transfer system, and that's why I made this. And you can see that this flexure.
We got ourselves Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey guys.
Welcome,
It's good to see you again.
Hey,
But the idea was you had two of these. It would create an isolated chamber, so no moon dust could get in the front of this. And when it got back up to space, it would expand and create this safe environment for the two pipes to merge in. I loved designing this flexure mechanism, but
how well did it actually work?
So in our testing, it was peak printed, and the Lockheed Martin lost the lander project, so you're not going to see it in space. But I did pass. I did graduate, so we'll say that. But
I'll tell you this: the idea is sound. I like it. I don't see why.
Well,
I don't see it not being used in the future.
I published it openly on printables. So if you want to play around with it there, I've got this one. But you'll notice that it has a lot of predictable motion in this way, but it also has a lot of this. And I was wondering if I could remix it a little bit to get rid of that. So this is what I came up with. I just put it at a 60-degree angle to each other. And now you have all of the linear motion and a significantly less lateral pitch, yaw, roll action, which is
don't you kind of want the lateral deviation though? In general?
In this is much less for the purposes of the space flight vehicle. This was me just playing around with the flexure mechanism. And I like, so I wonder if I can show this up close.
Yeah.
The structure of this, let me use my bright forehead to show this off. Right. So it has its alignment pieces, so that when it closes, it ensures these line up every time. Excuse me. It's very difficult to describe without a CAD model sitting in front of me, but I don't want to take the time to run you guys through that.
Right. No, that's fine. I completely catch what you're doing with it. What material are you using on that right there?
Originally, with these, Trident PLA, much too brittle. PETG works beautifully, and that's what I've stuck with ever since. We had some prototypes in Peak that were printed by Lockheed, but I never got to play around with those, and I'm still kind of I regret that. I hope it was good because I hear good things about Peak. But
what are you doing now? I mean, are you still working in the space industry?
No, I only recently graduated. After I made this, I decided to go to grad school, and I just graduated from my master's program. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I studied design and industrial design, product design stuff. I love making, I love making things this size. So just on the job hunt right now. Here's my portfolio. Here's my resume. Hire me. And
good luck right now, dude. People are starving. I feel sorry. I mean, there's some really talented people out there that are just really getting bent over by the system, just in general, because the market is flooded, and then quality people cost money, and nobody wants to spend it. So it just kind of leaves you like you're in the position you're in right now. I feel for you. I mean, dude, if I had a way to magically snap my fingers and make all those things better, I would. Because
that's nice of you.
you're the future of what's going to happen, and they're leaving you out of the loop. And that just because I was back in the industry when I was in the loop, and I saw the people and I met the people that got left out of the loop, and we lost a lot from it. I mean, I learned from it. You get older, wisdom, whatever. But I see you being left out of this little loop right now, just the way the society and the weird way our system is working right now is not really valued for you. It's valued for workers and people collecting, and it kind of leaves you out of the batch.
Well,
But that roller coaster is on its way back down. It will bottom out where we'll need talented, capable people, and then you'll be right back in the mix. You're just going to have to wait it out. That's all I can say.
I also see Amanda's comment about thanks for the encouragement. You'll find something soon. Extreme educational need for your experience to teach. I've actually been that has been my job over the past few months, as I've been doing CAD workshops for the local library, the local makerspace, and I'm running some through my old grad program. I love it, but keep an eye out. I also have a project that this was incredibly flattering. I've been working with someone on a project that I'm very passionate about and that I think will help a lot of people. And they said, like, Will, I've had to stop telling people about this because they hear Will needs help with a project that he's developing and everyone wants on board. And that was her saying that was the biggest. You could see my head is much bigger today than it was the last time you saw me. I'm like, oh shucks. So be on the lookout. I might be trying to make my own place and bring a lot of people into a good position because of it. So yeah, I don't know, but that's mine. It's really nice and clacky, ready for I was so surprised when
I think it's cool as hell.
I had my thesis project sitting on top of me at the last sitting on top of this at the last Rep Rap festival, and everyone would just like brush away my thesis and be like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's another thing." And so I'm ready this time. I've got the fun bouncy bits for my booth.
Hey, trying to change the subject, but Justin, I got an invite for Rocky Mountain.
For general admission only.
Okay. So I immediately on my phone clicked on it and it was already expired when the email.
Huh.
Mine worked. It was just you.
Did it?
Sorry, they expired yours.
Yeah, no, Ian, you know why? Ian signed up your stuff.
Oh, you already got signed up.
Admission.
Oh, yeah, he probably did. Yeah, he got to it before I did. Okay. Well, that actually makes sense.
Don't worry about signing up. I think I have your email on the list.
Okay.
And you'll get a spot. Let me find it. Give me just a second here. And I just want to make sure because you'll get a sponsorship email.
Okay.
For that. We're working on some logistics behind it. Yep, I've got your email. So right now I've got 90, I'd call it 90, almost 100 companies interested, and I might have 60 spots.
Wow. Okay.
Sweet.
So we actually, me and one of my co-organizers went and walked the venue again yesterday, because we have both halls. We'll have ST Denver. Let me know when in July. I'll make sure to make time for you, Amanda. We're gonna have both halls. So instead of 18,000 square feet, we're gonna have 36,000 square feet and a speaking stage.
Oh wow,
sweet.
So that little area we had in the corner, we decided was not enough. We were actually dedicating not a section, but I think it's gonna be like a 30 by 50 area or something like that for the stage. I got to figure out the logistics. Yes, Tripod, your email is on that list, I think. Let me make sure, actually. Hold on.
Is that my connection cutting out, or is everybody dropping?
No, I don't know. Yep, Tripod's email is on there, at least for now, if he stops bugging me.
I think that's you. By the way,
Me?
no, his internet.
Yeah,
I
his
didn't have any
internet's junky. So
What?
we released
Yeah, I
general
need it.
admission tickets on on the 27th, 3 days ago, and 100 people have signed up general admission.
Good.
So it'd be nice. I'd like to see the 3,000 again, but we'll see. You know,
I don't think you're going to get 3,000 pre-signing, though. Not this far out.
no, but as we get closer.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
the last 2 weeks up to the event, we had 2,000 people sign up.
Yeah, I believe that. I was going to say, to get 100 now is really not that bad.
It'll pick up, and I'm going to ERRF, so I can market it there to at least a few people.
Yeah,
not,
for sure,
you know.
for sure. Hey, do y'all have any experience with printing with silks, like tricolors and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay. That little exercise ball I was making, I wanted to make a hollow one, so I made one out of tricolored silk.
Yeah.
And I just did this on one of my Creality Max, or I don't know, whatever printer was available. I shot it over to it, but this is completely hollow. So there's no grit inside of it. And I made it light for a reason. I'm going to jam it down in my potato cannon and see how far it'll fly.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be light because I don't want to kill somebody a mile away.
Oh, come on.
Well,
it is Texas.
Look, dude, I mean, I'm all about fun, but I do draw lines and death and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll probably go ahead and video that and throw it up on my YouTube channel just for just the goofiness of doing something crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I actually,
clicks.
it's so pretty because I know it's going to get destroyed when I shoot it. Like I said, it's completely hollow. It's the first one I've been able to do that was 100% round and hollow. And I might just keep this on the shelf and then print one out of black because
Dwight,
I kind of don't want to destroy this.
What's your YouTube channel, Dwight?
My personal is dberry310.
Like and
Is
subscribe.
that what you're going to put it on?
I may put it on How To Texan also, but usually when I do stupid stuff like that, I just put it on my personal. But all you guys dude, you want to know who I am? Go to my YouTube channel. It's just us being morons that we are. And you get to see my friends and family and pastures and gardens and cows and all the bullshit I deal with every day. So
speaking of the layout, I know not everyone's seen it. This is the empty venue layout. Will remembers the North Hall was the 23, and now this will be food here and the walkway, so people can sit down and eat in a predetermined space instead of maker tables that are just open, because we're at both concession stands open, which is going to be
wow, sweet.
And then we'll figure out the food that we were talking about, Dwight. And then the South Hall, it's going to be it's going to be interesting. It's a little bit different how we're going to do things, but we're thinking we're going to put the speaking stage right about here, facing this way, facing down.
Okay, yeah.
Something like that over here, separation over here, blah blah blah.
Right on.
And that way, we can fit 20 rows of seats there.
Well, what are you going to use the stage primarily for? Just as introductions,
the speaking stage, same thing that we did at 23, just half-hour chats. I don't want to do full-hour chats. ERRF does that. The problem is you either have the choice of watching the chats all the time or watching the show. You want to do both. Meet and greets. I don't know what we're gonna do with that yet. It's too far out, but it's gonna be.
I'm probably gonna give away at least another car. I'm probably gonna give away 2 boy-girl car type deal. I don't know, dude. Still trying to figure out what all we're gonna do for promotions, but that stage would be really nice to
have a good one, Amanda.
To throw one out there,
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Did you are y'all down with brisket? I mean, is everybody still good with that?
I mean, we've got 8 months. Ask me in 6 months. But I'm
Dude,
okay
it's
with
brisket.
it. But yes, Friday night.
It's
set up-
brisket. 8 months, 6 months, 2 months from now, it's still going to be brisket. I mean, I don't know what you want me to ask you, but if everybody's still good with that, do we have a count of attendance approximate?
Not even. We're nope. Not
100
even close.
people. You heard him. There's
Yeah, we
100
have
people coming.
People. We got
And they're
100
all
Well, I mean,
sponsored.
yeah, thanks, Steve.
for
I'll lay down the ground. Y'all can take turns kicking me. I was just I'm trying to get an idea because trying to find a quality brisket right now is getting real tough.
Mhm.
It's the weirdest
thing
thing. It's the
is-
weird time of the year, and
We're
I'd rather
not-
have them in the freezer ready for me to use.
We're not opening. Oh, and he froze. While he's frozen, we're not opening up sponsorships till after ERRF.
Oh, good.
And we're not. Yeah, I don't want. So the reason for that is people are spending a lot of money to go to ERRF.
Right.
If I send out an email the week before ERRF, hey, sponsorships are open, no one's going to sign up because no one has
Right.
any money to go to ERRF.
Yeah.
Right.
So we wait sometime after, minimum of a few weeks to a month to maybe longer. I don't know. We're working on the actual date. That way people can have some money.
It also lets sponsors see how ERRF affects them.
Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly. And the idea is not to step on each other's feet.
Right.
We're not here to say, oh, well, we're stepping on ERRF's feet. We're here to work together for better shows. I mean, the things I'm hearing that ERRF's going to do this year are going to be nuts compared to last year.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
Should I go?
So, yes, you should. Talk to me. I can get
boy.
you. I can make your travel but easier.
Huh.
Long story on that. But so one of the organizers of ERRF, Chris, he came to Rocky Mountain, walked around, wanted to see what we did, and got his wheels spinning on changes for ERRF. Because ERRF, this is going to be the 6th year of ERRF. They kind of got stagnant for a couple years, and they know it. And this year's going to be interesting. I'm very interested to see, and I'm going. And, I'm also going to, hang out with everybody because I also enjoy to hang out with everybody I know in the community. And as an organizer, it's a different connection. But I consider so many of the people in the community good friends now. Like you see them, it's like, it's the most fun you'll ever have, and Steve hasn't had the chance to experience this yet.
I have
and
not. I
he's
have no
going
idea
to.
what I'm walking into.
And it is the most exciting, and the endorphins. Oh my God. You're on an endorphin high the entire weekend. Will can attest to that from Rocky Mountain.
It was pretty fun. I had a good
And
time.
then you get the endorphin low when you get home.
When you go home.
It was a little bit of a relief for, like, I'll say this. I love having a shower in my own house,
your own bed.
my own
That's
bed.
one
What
thing-
a treat.
Weird.
You never appreciate it more than when you get back to it after a bit.
Yeah. It was
But
weird for me
it was
because I
great.
went to Murph and ERRF last year, and I
Mhm.
went back to the hotel, showered, doing Murph. I live 15 minutes from the venue. It's like, I'll just go home.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Ah, man, yeah.
Must be nice.
Mhm.
All my stuff's like 18 hours away.
I know, right? Well,
Everything.
Yeah, but not
everybody
ERRF
leaves
this year.
Texas out. That's
Right.
what makes us so damn tough is everybody leaves us out.
Well, you'll like this. I'm working on group discounts for Rocky Mountain, so
Hey, down for that, man.
I already have
Every
2
little bit
group discounts active, and I'm working on more, trying to save people some money. Even if
All
it's
right.
$10 a night, that's better than nothing.
It is,
Yeah.
Justin. It makes a difference, man.
Will, if you do want to go to ERRF, hit me up offline. I can make your life a little easier with travel if you can go Thursday to Monday because you could ride with me and 2 other people, save the
Interesting.
rental,
Yeah.
and get rides from everybody because there's gonna be a few thousand people. No one will have an issue getting you a ride, but it's in less than a month. It's literally a month from
Oh,
the
right.
30th of September.
Yeah.
Yep.
but you want to fly in early.
I need to
Dude,
see if
Justin, I gotta tell you, I feel a little stress free now that I know I made the decision not to go. As sad as that sounds.
I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Like, I love not having plans, but I know how fun it is. I don't know. I'll think about it. Thanks for the offer. That's very kind of you.
ERRF is a trade show, Tripod.
Hmm.
ERRF is, the sponsors want it to be that way. They want it to be more sponsor focused and vendor focused than maker focused, and that's fine.
I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
It was last year there were a lot of makers. The one thing that drove me nuts was the pipe and drape. You could never figure out what aisle to go down.
It looks like they've
I get
centralized. They've centralized
Totally
this year.
understand
They have, and there, from what I've heard, there is no pipe and drape in the center. So unless you get a banner up, like E3D puts one up or something.
Oh, there's
that
no pipe and
kinda
drape in the
block-
center? Oh, okay.
Yes, which is nice because last year, if you look at the pictures,
Mhm.
the pipe and drape, you never knew what aisle to go down. You'd go down, oh, wrong aisle, next aisle. You'd never find where you could go. And that's what was nice about Rocky Mountain. You had some blockage, but it was mostly open. That's the way it's going to stay. If we put pipe and drape on the outside, that's fine. But
Yeah.
it's a very much a trade show, and that's even I've talked to Nick and Chris. That's the way it's grown into, and that's the way the sponsors want it. And that's not the way I put Rocky Mountain. And Murph is a party. Rocky Mountain's a hybrid, and that's why.
Yeah, Murph was crazy, dude.
Murph was a party.
It was a lot of fun. It was hot.
The humidity was the heat and humidity was the worst, and it makes me.
I like to travel because when I leave Texas, I don't have to deal with this heat. And guess what? It followed me there.
Right. What do you mean? What do you mean, Tripod? Like, if it doesn't change with more community events, I don't understand.
Oh, I happen to completely agree with him. I know exactly what he means. It needs to be like what they've turned this into is pushed all the makers out, and I don't think it's the right way to go with it.
Well, that's why Rocky Mountain, the sponsors make the event happen, but the makers are in the center. They are the center focus.
If you
people
keep
do
that
come
going
to
like
buy
that,
stuff.
Justin, I think it'll do okay. That's that's where I'm less stressful about not going to ERRF. Is I don't want to get caught up in that little corporate downfall. It's going to be a 7-circle spiral into hell for the whole industry.
I go to ERRF to hang out with friends.
Hey, it's my first year there. I haven't thrown everything into the hell yet.
Oh, my bad. It's great. Go have fun. You're gonna love it.
No, I'm figuring it's my fault that we're really finishing this spiral down into disaster.
No, don't do that.
Right.
It definitely won't be from you. Hey, hey guys, can I bounce something off of y'all? Because y'all are in different parts of the country, and I'm dealing with the weirdest issue right now that I'm not really. I mean, I think I know how I'm going to handle it. At least I'm going to try to handle it. But so in East Texas, my family, not me. I mean, all of us we have a lot of land, like 22,000 acres.
And there it goes again.
What?
Your audio went to hell.
Oh, I was fine. I was fine.
Fine for me, yeah.
Huh, weird.
So, my cousin, who is kind of the ranch manager, foreman, he kind of takes care of everything because I don't get to go there that often anymore. I don't have time. But he was running the back of the property. We call it the lowlands because during the rainy season, it's pretty much just mushy. It's like marsh area. But way back out back, a little tent city popped up. A bunch of and see, here's the deal. I haven't been down there to see it. And for him, who is a guy that lives out in the woods and doesn't really watch TV, it kind of threw him for a loop. So he called me up and he said, "Man, what do you think's going on here?" And it's a bunch of squatters that have just taken up residency on about 10 acres of our land. And man, on one side of it, I kind of want to say we've got all that land and we're not using that area, but they are going to flood out in about 3 months, dude. They're going to be underwater. That may take care of the problem by itself, but on the backside of me is I kind of want to go just grab my bulldozer out of the barn and just go push their shit out into the middle of somebody else's field. But I'm torn. I don't know how I should feel about this. And even when I talk to my friends, they're, my close friends and my family, I'm like, I've never been in this situation, but the decision's kind of on me on how we handle this. I mean, I'm that guy. I'm the one that takes care of this stuff. And what do y'all think? What would you do if this decision was on your shoulders? My personal view is just go talk to him first and say, this is not where you want to be. And evidently Glenn, my cousin, went out there and had mentioned to him that, one, they're not supposed to be there, but number two is that when the rainy season hits, these guys are going to be calling for rescue.
Right.
That stays 2-3 foot underwater, they're going to lose everything. Evidently, the feedback wasn't very good from these guys. They were really adamant assholes about it to him. Like, fuck you, you can't do anything to us, and we have the right being American citizens, and whatever, sovereign.
What?
I don't care.
Oh,
They want
my opinion of these people have just
anything they want. So that's why I said it kind of made me want to jump on my bulldozer and just push their crap into somebody else's field.
Well, if they're sovereign citizens, they're not protected by any of. Also,
right.
That's not a real
that's
thing.
What I said too. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
So what would you do?
If here's when you said this, my mind went one of two places. In the society we live in right now, it is, people are put into situations that they are not safe in. And that's something that I think that we as humans need to be able to change. And if these people are, in dire need of help, like it sucks that it that falls on various random people, but like it's really hard to do anything about that. If it falls into your hands, it's like, hey, are you going to be the one to help these people not die today? And that's a terrifying burden, and not
it is.
something
That's the compassionate side of me that asks that question. The asshole side of me says, get the fuck off my land.
It's rough because our society right now, especially in the United States, is extremely centric on ownership and possession. I don't mind sharing. They're in a bad place, and I don't want to find a bunch of corpses. Exactly. Like that changes my mind entirely. Like I think that if they are putting themselves in danger, first of all,
I don't think they know it, and I can't. I don't know how to get that across.
They don't seem, like. I know I'm on a public forum right now, but like whenever I hear someone call themselves a sovereign citizen, it lets me know that they don't know what that is, and they
I agree.
They've done a lot of their own research on Facebook, and not actual research. So I don't think they're capable of understanding that they're in danger, and I don't think they'll thank you for whatever you do.
Well, I asked. My first question was: Is it families? If it's mom and dad and a bunch of kids, then my compassionate side is going to take over, and I'm going to help them be in a better place. We've got a lot of land, and we have some highlands that's just wooded area. If they really want to live in that environment, I would probably do what I could to help them. But from my understanding, these are what my cousin described. Okay, my cousin, like I said, he's old school cowboy, redneck, not exceptionally educated, but good people, good heart guy. And he said they look like crackheads to me, just a bunch of guys.
Sure.
So, but his version of crackhead versus what I think a crackhead is might be two different things. I haven't been out there yet. So, I mean, it's a 2.5 hour drive from me, and I just haven't had a chance to get out there. I just found out about this a few days ago.
This isn't the first time I've heard squatter stories, and they all tend to sound the same, where the squatters are aggressive and combative and tell the landowners to go F themselves, rather than, even if you were to say, well, can you move to this spot here, it's safer, and they would probably just think you're trying to get them off the property. Because to some extent, yes, they have nowhere to go, which is part of why they're here. But it's a really difficult problem, and I mean, the problem also is that we're an extremely litigious society, and in a group of squatters who is already mad about you, people wanting them to move. If someone does die or get severely injured during the rainy season or lose everything, what's to stop them from suing you, the landowner,
tripod,
for not
hickory.
protecting them?
Right. So we're looking at, and we got to work out some details.
Whoa, that is loud.
Whoa, what is me?
You are very,
What?
very loud.
Justin, you actually popped my speakers. They clicked.
That's odd. Hold on.
Tell Tripod. Can Tripod hear me when I'm talking?
Yes, he
Should be
can.
able to.
Hickory. Tripod, hickory.
Is that better?
Yes, much better.
Yes.
He's trying to change our
I
topic.
I like to smoke briskets over hickory. So, but I can use any. I mean, I have all the woods. I have pecans and oak, and I mean, I love using red oak, but a lot of people think it's a little too strong. I usually go with hickory because it's a real mild smoke, and it's one of those smokes that's welcoming. When you smell it, your mouth waters.
Right.
So I usually use hickory if that answers his question. Is that what he was asking?
No, he was asking about. He was just trying to switch topics. He was trying to change the conversation.
It's more.
But it makes
I've
sense.
got a question
Isn't
for you guys.
pecan's a hickory? How different is that?
No, it's not the same.
Well, I mean, it's
Not
the same
our-
family of tree. Pecan is a hickory.
It is the same family, but totally different flavor.
Okay, I believe that.
No, I've got 2 cords of hickory of pecan. I got a split, but I just buy hickory from the store in chunks.
Mhm.
It's cheaper. Oh my God! See, like pecan and oak, I have that in my yard. I can go chop a tree down, and next year I have my own wood. But I don't have hickory here. I have to purchase that. And it is my favorite. I mean, honestly, I really would like to use cottonwood, but we have none of those here. And cottonwood, oh my God, it's sweet and it makes meat tender, but it's not like cherry. Cherry to me is bitter. And we have all this stuff here. I mean, I can go out in the backyard and, back pasture, and I can pretty much prune whatever tree I want for a flavor. But I really have my 3 favorites, and that's going to be just white oak, pecan, and hickory.
And it's not so much about the smoking of the meat; it's the fact that smoked meat should be at Rocky Mountain Friday night. I've got a lot of details to work out with that. I have to actually get it cleared by the venue.
Okay, well, if we do it if it's just for us as makers and some of the vendors, then you shouldn't have to clear that with anyone.
Yep, any outside food has to be cleared because they have an on-site hospitality. I'll work on it. The idea would be Friday night, a little not like Saturday night might have an after party, but Friday night might just be hangout.
Let me throw this out real quick, Justin. I have an upright Pit Boss smoker. It's like it looks like a little refrigerator type deal. Glass door on it. It works good.
Right.
I could actually, if I drive, I guess I can drive one of my trucks. I can bring my smoker, and if we're there on say Thursday or we're there a day early, I can actually smoke the meat there. So we're actually talking about as safe as it can be. My plan was to smoke everything, wrap it in foil, and pack it up in an ice chest.
Yeah, the community feast would be because Friday isn't like Murph where you just it's makers and sponsors and staff only. So
and dude, I don't have to do briskets. That was just brought up. I mean, I can do ribs or chicken or
everything.
No, I don't want to do everything. I mean, God, I won't have time to race a car. I'll just be cooking. If I want to do that, I'll just stay home.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn. Like, would I rather just go to ERRF as not a sponsor so that I can just walk around the show?
Well,
ERRF might be paying my table.
We also
have a valid question.
A few local people, Ajax and such, that would watch the table.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Ajax is coming out. But
I know. Me and him talked. He lives 20 minutes from me. So.
Yeah.
Me and him have hung out a bit, so
Oh.
it'll be interesting. But no, we're actually looking, because there will be a break room for sponsors and makers at Rocky Mountain where you can step away, take a break, eat something, rest.
Oh, I love that.
The whole event, you're working the whole time.
Yeah.
Get a break, and I'm going to try to get enough volunteers where you take a 20-minute break. One of our volunteers, if you don't have someone else, sits down and just is at your table saying they're gone, but the table's safe.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really that many issues in general at these shows. But if
Well, and I don't really
worried
have
about-
anything. I'll
Right.
have.
Well, people will take little things,
Yeah.
My
That's-
intention with all the stuff that I brought to the Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival was, someone could take it, and
Yeah.
that's fine. Like,
Right.
that's one of my favorite things about 3D printed ownership
Mhm.
is
You can make another one.
suddenly, yeah, it's just like a software file. You can give it out to as many people as you want, and it doesn't matter if someone takes it or if you lose it. You still get to benefit from it, and I think that's a hidden value and an incredibly important value of 3D printing.
You're
My
right.
table's going to be mostly Uforge prints, and if some of those walk,
Right.
but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give them
yeah.
away. Just do a drawing and give them away.
yeah, we'll give some away. Ian's going to be there, and he's going to bring his clocks, I'm sure. So we'll probably give away a couple of his clocks.
Right.
Cool.
And
Well, you know what, guys? The last couple of shows, Ian and I didn't put a lot of giveaways on our table. We did big giveaways, cars and whatever. We did contests at our table. If you can open up this box in less than 10 moves, there's $20. We did stuff like that. But I have boxes of giveaway novelty crap that I was going to take to ERRF, which I keep building that, so it's all going to go to ERRF. But I'm still not. You know what I did not see at ERRF last year, or a lot of? I didn't see a whole lot of cosplay stuff, and I expected to see more.
There was some Halo stuff and
some Halo stuff, but
yeah,
I wanted to see some Iron Man and just some goofy ass anime.
I need to message Frankly Built and see if he can bring his Iron Man stuff, because his stuff is.
Well, I'm thinking about bringing. I got that full body scanner with the turntable. I got the full setup. I finally had, dude, I've had that thing for like a year, and I finally went in and said, all right, I'm dedicating some time and making this thing work. So I have a full rotating body scanner, so I can do full length body prints and files all the way down to miniature or figurine, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, shoot.
There he goes. We lost you there for.
Yep.
We lost you
there, Dwight.
Man, I tell you, dude, I'm on my broadband home internet here. It's a 5G signal, and it's usually really solid, but we've been in this bad drought. And that's what they're saying is this drought is actually making the tower I use is leaning. They've got a crew coming out to straighten the tower up. So I'm watching right above my. Let me see if I can bring this down. Oh shit! I'm throwing stuff down.
That broke it.
Right.
What do you call it? Oh shit! See, I'm killing my signal by showing you this. But that's my signal strength, right? What's going on with it?
That is not many bars. Yeah.
No, and I'm sitting here watching this thing. It sits on the shelf right above my computer. And I'll watch it go from my connection is good right now to I have no connection and I can still see you guys and everything's working good. And then it'll come back up to great connection and then I lose y'all. So, woohoo, hey, welcome to the Twilight Zone. Yeah, normally this thing is because this travels with me when I go up to the lake house because there is no I live here in a rural area. There's AT&T comes out here, but their signal, they're out here working on crap all the time, and all my neighbors are always down. mine is about 95% dependable. But when I go up to the lake house, oh my God, I take this. And dude, I bang in over a gig download and I think around 400 upload up at the lake on this wireless signal. This thing's amazing. I love it. But right now I'm not really loving it so much. It's kind of pissing me off. So whatever.
I actually
It is what it
bring
is,
some.
man.
I want to bring some cosplay Qforge, but I'm just trying to figure out what exactly to print that is cosplay applicable. I guess I did some faux today, some faux wood.
Wow. God, every time I see one of these Qforge
printed
prints,
that?
Yeah, that's
they
That's a 3D
Let me hang on. Show
they
that back up
always
again. Let me
just
blow my screen up.
astound me.
I lost my mouse here.
Yeah, he can't make me full screen, but
Dude,
yeah. So I did
that
that.
is
So
outstanding.
some like faux material stuff.
Justin, can you blow that up?
Yep. Hold on. Let's just do that. And that's
Good job, Steve. That is outstanding, brother.
So it's a new filament I'm testing that we can't get in the US. So sorry.
How did you get it?
They want to be in Qforge. They want their filament in the library because Asia and Europe can get it. So they want to be suppliers there. And they have a fantastic natural. So I did this with their filament too. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
It just keeps getting better.
But
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one's
I have
beautiful.
yet to print anything because I just don't have time.
so like
Hey,
I'm,
you know what? You want to hear? You want to hear something sad, Steve? I purchased your program 2 months ago.
haven't you started?
I haven't even.
Well,
opened
it's
it
been
up
updated. You should get one of the updates.
Okay. Well, I really bought it so Ian could take advantage of it because all the bamboo printers, all the big printers are at his house, and I keep my FDMs. I've got one SLA here, but I keep all my FDMs here for. I'm a tinkerer, so I like experimenting. He does production stuff for us, so I really bought that for him, and I'm pretty sure he's using.
Okay.
So, hell, I don't know. I hadn't actually asked him, but I'm sure he would have said something if he wasn't using it.
This is just two colors.
Dude, those are
insane. Just black and white. That's just black and white, but it's a 10 TD white, so it has really good ability to blend on that black.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so. But anyway, I want to make cosplay stuff. I know there's cosplay applications, and I have like the feathers, which you could put in cosplay, but I'm just trying to figure out what I print to demonstrate Qforge for cosplay.
Right.
So if anyone has ideas for that, I thought about like shoulder patches for uniforms and things like that.
That'd be
you don't have to
cool.
embroider them, but I haven't. I have a design or two, but I need to pull some and play with them. But the Mac version is literally it runs. I got it signed, I got it notarized, but now I'm dealing with the sandboxing of the files and how to get people their STL files after they create them. So I understand why they want to sandbox everything, but then how does a user then say, I want that STL file? And I want to. So actually, the user is perfectly allowed to say, I want to save into documents, my documents folder and put my projects there. That's totally fine. But the problem is then they can't get back to the original folder that they set it up in. So it's a kind of frustrating in that regard. But I'm so everything's working except for that. I got it notarized. It should run on other people's computers. So I think I'm on target to release the end of this week on Mac. So that'll be a big weight off my chest because I've been working on that forever, and I really want to work on color aware, but I can't because.
Hey, you actually touched on something I've had a question about, and that's what I was talking about with the full body scanner. So at the show, what you drinking there, brother? You drinking some brandy?
It's some rye.
Nice.
Oh, you're killing me. Here I am.
I'm going to duck out, folks.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out, Will.
Yeah.
We'll
See you
later.
later.
See you later, buddy. Thanks, man, for the input. Hey, okay, Steve. So you actually touched on something that I had a question about on what do you guys think I should do with it? So if I bring the full body scanner up and I do this, my plan in my head was to scan anybody that wanted to be scanned, and then email the file to them. I don't need to keep the file unless they want me to print it, but I wanted to be able to give it as like a show, the candy machine, you come up and you scan it and I'll shoot it over to your email. I don't want to keep up with your stuff, and then I got thinking about it. Well, what if I did keep a copy of it, and then when I emailed their file to them, I say, also, if you want me to print you one and ship it to you, is that, I'm going to charge for that. If I'm going to go through all that, you damn well better believe I'm going to charge.
You better charge for that, or I'm going to be mad at you.
Right. So, but while we're at the show, I figured if they just wanted a copy of it and they're willing to stand there for 2.5 minutes, that I'm just going to kind of give it away as a gimme at a show. And I'm probably going to bring a Voron and the Salvo 7. I might bring a Bamboo to the next show. So if they give me an hour and walk around, I can have them a print when they come back around.
Right.
That's if I've got enough room there, power, and all the other crap we're doing, dude. I'm trying to balance out what all we're going to do. I mean, if it was my way, I would have a whole wall and I would have something set up on every section of it. But I can't do that there on my show. Your barbecue, brother. I love it.
I saw that picture of the fire gear in the locker. That was really nice. And you did like 4 of them, right? To get it just right, if I recall. It was a nice use of Viewforge.
On the what?
He had a picture of his fire gear at the station in a locker, and he did like 4 versions of it to get the color and the black and white and everything right. Probably means that your TDs aren't quite right on your filaments, but yeah, it looked really good.
Right.
What we're finding is that if it's not quite right, then you should adjust Viewforge so it looks like it, and then it will be right the next time. I think this filament is not printing right. Just a sec. Oh no, it's okay. It just looked weird on camera.
Bamboozled.
Yeah.
Hey, did you talk to Ian today, Justin?
No, nope, not at all.
He's not on.
Yeah, you want to message him?
He got into a pretty bad wreck the other day.
Yeah,
Did you know about that?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, and then he went to the chiropractor. Well, I don't even know if I should be sharing this with you guys, but I think he'd be okay with it. So he went to the chiropractor and they did a chest. They did an X-ray to find out if he had any slip disc or anything. He's having some pain, and then I guess something like his lungs were full of fluid from something, like maybe punctured a lung or something. I don't know. I haven't talked to him today. Well, he may have called me, dude. I haven't even looked at my phone. I've been so busy, being a bad friend by not checking on him. But yeah, I'm surprised he's not on tonight.
Me too. But yes, tripod overnight prints allowed perfectly at Rocky Mountain. Power will stay on.
Oh, is that an issue at ERRF, by the way?
Yes, they shut off the power at night.
Okay, that's fine. I just need to know that.
Yep, it's a college arena or something like that. So,
they kill everything. They got security there.
I think so.
So, Medic,
I'm not going. I really don't care. But
you should print one of these. By the way, these are great at doing TD tests. They're way faster than the other ones. It's just a little bit of COB LEDs. I did a whole video on it. You get a 5-volt COB USB LED, and then you just plug it in. It doesn't show up on camera well unless it's a lower TD filament. But you just drop your filament swatch in there. No, that one just looks white. Let me get one that's more opaque. There. You drop your filament in there, and then you can see that one's only 0.6. Now, with the higher TD filaments, the trick is, so this one is more than a 4, but the trick is when you put the backer on it, I have these steps, so you can step it up 4 millimeters, and then you put this on top, you look at it, and you look for the first one where the room lighting is dominating from the backlighting. So you don't see the backlighting, you don't see the backlight on there anymore, you just see the room light. Even though if you covered it, the whole thing's glowing, you're looking for where the room light dominates the backlight, and that's been giving me a great result. I've been testing it on the new filament. I did 36 filaments yesterday, and I'm doing I'm starting the pet cheese today. I have 25 of those. And so far, the prints I've kicked out of them have been great. They've been pretty much exactly on what I predicted. So that tells me that the TDs I'm getting out of these with that method works.
With a pain master.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, how's everyone?
Good. You?
Yeah, I'm alright. Just came out of
Are you
Polymaker
awake?
meeting. Yeah, I was in a Polymaker meeting, so
Oh, all right.
That was an
Yeah.
exciting meeting. I was there for about half of it.
yeah. Hey, Steve.
Hi, nice to meet you finally face to face.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for the new colors. So
Those new colors are exciting. I really, really want to get my hands on those because I have this 10. It's a 10
Yep.
TD. Or no, it's a 16 TD natural. That's very white. That came from
did you
Texas.
check
What?
G-Tech what strength it is?
I haven't checked G-Tech yet. No, I have a G-Tech gray, a light gray, in pet
Yeah.
TD.
That's
but-
not good for thistles.
No,
But,
but this is Kexold, which you can get in Germany. Kexold, and it's the natural PLA K5 PLA, and it's a 16 TD. It's a very high TD. It's very milky. I've had mixed.
So that's the
results with
smaller the
milky.
TT number, that's the less light lets through.
More light through 16. The higher the TD, the more light let through.
Yeah.
So this
that's
one's
what I'm
very.
saying.
It's milk. I would consider this one milky, very translucent, not opaque at all. And in some ways, I've noticed that the transparents may have lower TDs than the milkies or the translucents. I don't know what the reasoning is, but this prints.
What is the
that's what let
yellow
me-
from Polymaker?
That's what made this
Oh,
let
that's
this work. So that white, this is all this white all the way back there is all the same one layer or one shift, and it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and so that's where it finally gets white around 1 millimeter thick. Well, not quite, 1.6 millimeters thick. The natural from Polymaker is a 21, which is great for like brightening up dark colors, but not so great if you want to get an actual white. Like it's hard to get it to an actual white. It's very
Yeah,
hard
it's very
to get.
strong, the yellow, yeah.
Yeah, it's yellowish and it's very hard to get. 21's really far. You need a couple millimeters of it to get it to show as actual whatever the yellow is.
I like it. The lemon yellow is not bad either.
I
That's
love
what
the
I'm
lemon
using
yellow.
right now for CM.
Yeah, I actually think they might be pushing too high on their CMYs, but I'd like to test them and see because I've never used something quite that high. That's not the yellows. I mean, the yellows are often 8, 10 for a yellow, but the cyan and the magentas are normally much, much lower in the 2, 3, 4 ballpark. So having one up in the 10, 12 ballpark is going to be really interesting.
Sorry about the mess behind me, but
I have a very similar mess behind me. So.
yeah, yours organized. Yeah, mine is organized too,
place
but
is
more messier.
I'm just not showing you the disorganized stuff down here and over here.
Right. Yeah.
Very
Because
careful camera
I'm
angle.
going on a. This is all what I'm taking with me to a fair
Oh, okay.
Saturday, and I'm gonna do some book fair. So I made some book covers, right? Like book ends.
Oh, bookends.
Yeah.
And they're like
And-
boxes? Are they? Okay.
So
that's
I
cool.
have a modular system for my because I'm starting into designing also.
Okay.
Because I designed this. Like
Oh, look at that.
I call it Mushroom Kingdom. Because
Yes, I see it. I love that arena too, and the arena is very what's the word? It's very parsimonious on filament changes. You only need a few filament changes for that arena because they're layered
Yeah.
basically.
and I thought about people
I do
can
too.
change
That arena's
out.
cool.
They can change out
Oh,
the thing
okay.
and click it into and have done the book cover there.
Nice.
And then if they wanted to, they can add more stuff. It depends on how big the bookshelf is,
That's really cool. And it stabilizes the book holder
Yeah.
even more. The book
Yeah.
bookend even more. Hold on, I gotta go apparently wrangle a child, so I'll be back in a little bit.
All right, no big deal.
Thanks for the invite.
Oh man, guys, I'm tired, man. I've got I still got to go put up all my equipment. My side by sitting in the middle of the backyard. I need to go put it up.
I've got
before-
inventory
Hopefully, we're
Friday.
getting some rain tonight. So
The inventory prep is draining. Trying to get everything.
you're what?
We have inventory prep on Friday at work.
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember those days. I feel for you, brother.
yeah, it's
Totally feel for you.
We'll be there till midnight, so not so much
Wow.
fun. I can tell
Have
you
fun with that. That's why you get paid the big bucks, isn't it?
There's no money in what I do.
Matt, what time is it where you are?
It is 3:40 in the morning.
Wow.
Good Lord, boy.
Yeah. I don't sleep. I sleep maybe half
Yeah,
an
I know
hour
the
here
feeling.
and there, and cat naps. Sometimes I just like do some work, and all of a sudden I'm like,
Hey, I'm there also. I mean, I'm doing the same thing right now, just catching some Z's when I can catch them. So, yeah. That being said, I'm gonna go put some equipment up. I'm gonna get cleaned up and eat something, and I think I'm gonna shut down for the night. I'm kind of done.
Right.
Guys, it was good talking to y'all. Tell Steve I said bye when you come back in. If whatever, I'm too tired to finish that
Nope,
that
you're good.
sentence. Man.
I got to be up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so that's early for me.
Well, it was good talking with you guys, man, and thanks for letting me bounce some stuff off of you. Actually, feel a little better about what I'm gonna have to do.
It's okay. I can. If
I'm
you
still
were
not
going
sure
to
what I'm
ERRF,
gonna
I'd
do,
bounce
but it
stuff
was nice.
back, but you're not going to ERRF, so.
Oh, you suck, dude. Seriously, you're gonna hold that on me?
I'm gonna hold that over you.
Yeah,
just
okay.
a
You
little
can
bit.
spin.
Yeah, here you
All
go.
right, yeah, well, I deserve it.
I'm gonna not. It's gonna suck not having you there, dude.
It is gonna suck not being there. Matt, what you got there?
Some more of my design what I made. Part of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, nice. Very nice, bro.
And I made a little pineapple plantation because it kind of reminded me of Hawaii, and at the same time, what's going on in Hawaii with the storm. I kind of feel bad. So
Yeah, it's bad there right now.
I
A
remember
little commemorative to them. Nice.
I remember going in 1986 and the volcano breaking out, and
Yep.
on the main island. That was wow. I remember my parents drove us on this, it was like on the ocean path, and then we tried to go in the evening back, and it was covered with lava. The road. In the morning, it was
That
fine.
must
the
have been
road.
frightening.
No, we just had to go
Yeah.
the long way around. It took us like 1.5 hours or 2 hours to get around the island. You know, on the other side.
Well, still, you're on an island and lava is flowing. That's got to be frightening.
Oh, right. Just have to go in the ocean. I know how to swim.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind swimming either. It
The
helps.
thing is, don't get too close to the lava once you
Oh.
enter the water, because then you get really steamed, like a lobster.
Yes,
So,
like a lobster. Yes, sir. That's funny. Guys, I'm killing it for the night, man. I will talk to you guys later, and y'all have a good night.
I'm gonna be
Matt,
cutting
you have-
out soon anyway, so
good night.
see you later,
all
Dwight.
right,
Are
night.
you cutting out too?
All right, guys. Bye.
See ya.
It was too long in the polymaker meeting.
Right now, you're good. So, Matt, I have yet another printer in my repertoire of free
I don't say
printers.
the G-Tech.
Nope. Nope. Wrong brand.
It's like a G-Tech.
It's a Creality. What is it? CR10S Pro V2. I got for free.
No, from the side looks like an
I
A30
know.
Pro or A30M.
It's been modified a little, and then there's some issues, so I'm modifying a little more. And it'll work when I'm done with it. You know, it was already clipperized. It's already been upgraded, and I might actually turn it into a larger switch wire if I can get it working reliably. Then I will. If I threw $50 at it on some parts coming in tomorrow, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll sell it. Take the money and put it towards something else.
Take some money and run.
Pretty much, you know. And I got the Delta back here that's been sitting. So this printer is going to end up probably right here. I gotta rearrange a few printers this weekend.
Yeah, look what happened with I had G-Techs. I only have one G-Tech left.
Right.
The corner over there.
They're all the Chinese printers are basically the same anymore.
Yeah.
They're all. I'm surprised they're not made in the same factory.
Yeah.
Because it looks the same. I mean, minimal differences. You know.
For me, this bamboo now, and I know I sold one of my friends. He bought one of my focus printer,
Right.
and once he saw how the bamboo works, he said, "I'm gonna get myself a bamboo now."
Yeah.
And he's only been printing for like a month or two, and
Right.
I'm like, dude, you know,
I'm not
what?
I'm not ready to own a bamboo unless someone sends me one, because
Yeah.
my thing isn't just to print, mine's to tinker. Every single printer I have gets tinkered with.
For
At
me,
some point.
it's important the printer must work.
Correct.
And so far, the bamboo blows everybody out of the water.
Oh yeah, I'll agree
You know?
with that, but it's also closed source.
Yeah, that's what I don't like either.
That's one of my.
But I did find some. I did have a look at the code, a scrambled code, and I did find a code, an error code, what matches up with the phone company Huawei. And they say they're the manufacturer of that code.
Right.
So that's what I followed up, but I'm not sure about that, and I need to, you know, see if people find the same thing what I found, you know.
Right.
So you know Huawei, right? I say it probably wrong, but they're banned basically in Europe.
Right.
I think they're banned in America too. The phone is. Because I believe they were too much controlled by the CCP. So they were banned in Europe and America, I guess. Because also one thing is, I had a Huawei phone and I wondered why my data went down all of a sudden, all the time. And then I connected it to my computer and I found out, even when I didn't use the phone, it still sent information back to the internet.
Right. Yeah, it does that. That's the downside with Bamboo. They're very much, they want to be internet connected. And that's kind of their whole idea, especially when they randomly start printing stuff in the middle of the night.
No one random.
Why you guys had the problem when the floor was?
Mine printed print twice.
See, mine, I don't know. I might have had my printer switched off, or I might have had nothing on, but nothing happened really to my machines.
If you didn't try to print during their outage period, you didn't get queued, and it didn't try to print it when you were done. So I had tried to feed something during the period there was a problem. I then started it successfully, got it printing, and then, you know.
Okay, I can, my wireless, I can disconnect from my main internet.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my private wireless network here, and I still can access the Bamboo over it without being on the internet.
I just do LAN only.
Yeah. So then, because there was also, we had a problem with the internet here. It was switched off for like 6 hours or so, and because I did some repairs, and I think it might have happened between that time period when it was down, and I was using the Bamboo. I first thought, damn, no internet, I can't connect to it, and then I just said to myself, let's just try it, let's see what happens, and it found it. The slicer found the Bamboo on my network, and I connected and printed.
That did not work for me when I tried to do it during that day, but probably would this time. I just didn't do it right.
Right.
Eating yogurt.
Oh, ice cream.
Good choice.
My
You
wife
make me want ice
wife introduced me to eating ice cream out of a coffee mug, and I love it now.
cream. The good thing is when it's all melty, you just drink what's left.
I like to smear it around, make it like soft serve.
Nice.
My printer's finished.
I really need to figure out how to use UForge to make a side plate for my Death Racer for ERRF. I just haven't sat down and figured it out.
Well, Ajax has been working on that too, I think.
Yeah, I'll message him and be like, hey, thoughts?
The easiest thing is probably to just Boolean and it with the side part, and then attach it. So take the side piece, make a UForge roughly the right shape, take the side piece,
Right.
and 3D Builder and it together, and then attach it on top, and then attach it to the part as well.
Yeah.
Are you use 3D builders too?
3D Builder is crazy capable.
I know, it's good. I love 3D builder.
It is shockingly capable.
Right.
That's where I design my stuff.
Mm.
This is actually a snowman, not a tree.
I believe that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't design
Just
anything in
cut
3D
off
Builder, but I assemble parts in 3D Builder.
Yeah. Because I want to glue this on here,
Mm-hmm.
make it a little bit more representative, because it just cuts down on time on multicolor.
Yep.
I can print it in several colors, but then the print will take 9 hours to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if I print a single color, it will take me 2.5 hours to print.
Right. Yeah, it's not worth the multicolor in that
So,
method or that.
yes. So I'd rather print this stuff separated out, the colors, and then glue them on. Unless it's really complicated or something fancy, then I use colors,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that people often multicolor things that don't make sense to multicolor. Yeah, just print it in two parts and put it together later.
Right.
But sometimes, you just really want to do it. Like the lid, I don't
Like
actually.
this, it's okay.
Yeah, that one actually wouldn't be even that bad, right? Because you have it mostly by layers, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
My lid's not like this, but the lids, Ajax made a version with inlaid letters, so you can read it more easily in a different color. And printing 6,000 tiny little letters, and he just made it 2 layers. You can't see them here, but the numbers, mine's just 2 colors, but it doesn't show up very well. But Ajax made a version that I gave to my dad,
Right.
where there's 2 layers of those numbers as separate models in different color. And so then you get a very clear letters. And it's 2 layers, so there's like an extra 4 swaps. And there's no way you're going to print those numbers, keep track of them, put them in. Like, you have to do it that way. That's the right way to do it. And it makes the lid way more readable.
Oh, I'm tired.
Now just use the agent.
Oh, the accelerator?
Yeah, and now it's done.
Nice.
I love this glue. I mean, this is one of the best glues what I.
Oh, okay. Does it keep it from outgassing? Because I had some issues where I had some things I glued together and then I stacked on top of each other, and then I got white residue underneath the bottom of the ones I stacked on top.
This is when you use too much spray.
I didn't
And
use spray.
also, oh, wow.
That was just the glue.
Yeah, some glue dries clear, some glue gets white residue. What I mostly do is before I spray the activator, I wipe and then I spray and then I wipe again
Okay.
really quickly around it, and then it leaves no white residue for me.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, that looks clean. Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah. You can see the shine to it where it's still dry, but I mean, it's literally, you can hold it by now, you know.
Yeah, I actually have a can of matte spray that I use to spray Huforge prints so they photograph, because they're really hard to photograph because the filament shines and then you can't see anything. So I have some matte clear coat. Oh, my very exciting print is finished.
Ooh, hold on.
Oh, it's very, very exciting. Yay.
Woo!
It is 8 test swatches. Well, 8 filaments worth of test swatches.
At least you can do that all in one shot and not have to print, change the filament, print, change the filament. I won't give you the benefits there, but
I will say though, I have to use Orca Slicer for this.
yep, I've heard that. But I've heard Orca Slicer is better anyway.
It was definitely. Now that Bamboo imported most of Orca Slicer's code base, it's very similar. Not as much, but the issue was that Bamboo Studio double counts your exclusion zone. So when you set up, when you're doing print by object, because these are all print by object, so it doesn't swap every layer.
Yeah.
It puts a ring around the extruder, but it collides the ring from one extruder with the ring from the other extruder, which means it's double counting the ring.
Yep.
So it doesn't collide it with the model, it collides it with the ring. So I went into Orca, and in Orca you can have that. You can change that value and it'll respect it. So I changed it down to 33, and I can get them close enough together to put together. I import them as multi-part models so that each one's an object, and then it all works.
Give it each a color and you're off to the races.
You hear what happened to Lauren Moses' dog?
Sorry, what?
You hear what happens to Lauren Moses' dog? Got run over. I guess he got hit by on the highway by a car. Had both of everything, neck broken, no, lower back was broken, a few legs were broken, and he had to put him down.
Oh,
Just think about it. You have to put your own dog down. You can't go to a doctor and just say to the doctor, "Here, put my dog down." And he really had to do it himself.
I did see that. Yeah, that was rough. We had to have a cat put down recently, and that was hard enough. But to have to put your own dog down.
Yeah.
All right, where did that black chip go? I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to say, but black is black. Well, actually, I've seen now 2 black filaments that are literally 0.
Yeah.
They have nothing, no light come through. This came out. This is first print with this filament. It's look at how shiny that is.
Oh yeah.
Came out. This is Pet G. Came out really nice. Pet G 0.2 print's fine. I'm having trouble below 0.8. 0.8 the last I'm having trouble with. But
right.
On the Bamboos. My other printers print Pet G at whatever I tell them to.
Right.
But
Pet G doesn't like to be smushed too much in my experience.
I have gotten really, really good at printing Pet G. And so I was really kind of surprised that Pet G was my go-to filament for most of my work.
Oh, you're streaming on YouTube too?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is YouTube your name? Same name?
Break or 3D. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we got 3 minutes left, guys, because I have to be up early tomorrow, and Friday is a 16-hour day at work.
Ooh.
Something like that. Wait.
I am actually working Huforge 24/7 for the next, for 3 weeks starting Monday.
Yeah, because you got your ERRF prep.
No, but I took a leave of absence from work.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yep. Yeah. From my job.
I mean, you're doing what you love with Huforge, so.
Yep, I'm really enjoying it.
I'm
I hope I
jealous of that, but
I hope I can keep doing it, but we'll see.
yep.
And subscribe.
Need to get the Mac version out.
I'm excited for the Mac version. I could use either. The Mac
It's
version.
basically done.
Well, the Mac version will be nice if I'm not home. I'm like I'm at ERRF and I want to show it to someone, or I'm out and want to show it to someone. You know, I'm not paying parallels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen Cole. Hey, Tripod. Hey, Non-Fan. Major Gamer Geek.
There it is.
3D Metric Vents. Just the shroom guy. He's calling me the shroom guy?
I have 176 subscribers. I think I used to have 190. That's okay.
They left you.
I'm not that popular of a person to get 1,000 or even a few hundred. So
Oh yeah.
it's a
It's a hard. You have to
Yep.
do something. It's a hard lift, and then
yeah.
all of a
I'm
sudden you're
not playing the algorithm game. I just
Yep.
stream when I want to stream to hang out with people, and YouTube can suck it. Yes, I said that.
Exactly.
The problem is Twitch offered me affiliate, but I have 8 people watching. 7 of them are on YouTube. So it's
Yeah.
like, how do I go to a platform that I lose? Call it 80% of my viewers. Like that's not no.
All right, so I have a question. This one filament I got, holy cow, that is like a 0 TD white, 0.4 TD white. Never seen
Wow.
that before.
There you go. What filament is it?
Okay, so this is the funky thing. This is Kexel. They're a Chinese company. They sell in Europe, but they don't sell in the US.
Oh, that's the brand you were talking about. Yeah.
Yep. But this filament, so everything's a kilogram, but they list it mostly in meters. So all their kilograms are 330 meters, or all their kilograms are 330 meters plus or minus 3%.
Yep.
Except for this one, which is 252 millimeters.
It's a denser
So
material.
What the heck is in this PET G?
It's denser. It's probably got more black in it, like more something
Pigments.
that makes it heavier.
More pigment, but a lot more titanium dioxide. I don't know. It's called shade white, and it's the most opaque white I have ever seen in my life, which is actually useful. This is going to be interesting. I've never seen a white with this low of a TD, 0.4. So that's going to be interesting. Didn't print the best. It looks like it's over extruding a little bit, but I can fix that.
What do you think about the cool white from Polymaker?
The new one or the cool white that they already have?
Yeah, the new one.
I didn't see that they said what their new white was going to do yet. They said they were going to make a new white. They had the gray,
Right.
right now.
No. I have it right here. That's the one.
That's a cool white. I don't think I have that one.
That's Polylite cool white. Yeah.
It's just regular Polylite cool white.
And it doesn't let anything through almost. Very little light goes through.
Oh yeah, that's the 0.5. Okay, so that's very similar. I do have that one on my list. I don't own that one, but I do have it here. Cold white, yeah. 0.5. Yeah, so it's basically the same. This brown lets more through, and brown never lets anything through.
Right. I have a brown that would let everything through because it's shit brown from printed solid. Yeah, it's literally it. Yeah, where's my shit right here? You go.
I mean,
this was a community request about 2 years ago, and so Dave from Printed Solid made it.
Oh, that looks nice.
And it is literally, it's called Neon Brown, and in person, I'll bring this to ERRF. It looks like shit. Literally.
All right. Well, this brown's a 1, which for browns is pretty common. It's a 1, and you can see that. Yeah.
Mhm.
The dark ones show correctly. That's a 1. You can see it up there. That lines up with the 1. Here.
Right.
So by 0.2, so the 5th box. That's easy to do. But that's what you expect for a brown. I've yet to see a dark brown that isn't.
Is that the light system I told you?
This is the one that I made. It's just an LEDs in the back and steps. We didn't talk enough about your light system for me to be able to make it work. But But we are looking. So Ajax and I were starting to talk about things we could do with just a single strand of filament. So I might want to circle back on that.
Let me know.
Because you wanted to shine a laser at or UV light at it and see how it radiated, what color it radiated.
Yeah, that too. Also, they use it in the filming industry for lighting, like see how much light there is. It's
Okay,
like a
yeah.
measuring device. You hold towards in whatever location you are, but instead of the location, you put the print in front of it. They have another one. I forgot what the name of it is. It measures the light when you put the light behind it, and it catches the light in the back. So it's like a box.
Yeah.
And you just put whatever you want to put in the divider, and then it shines the light through, and then it tells you on a screen how much light comes through.
Yeah, we talked about Ian talked about getting a tint tester, which is what that sounds like a window tint tester.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which could work. Yeah, this light gray is disappointing. I love a light gray, but I want my light gray to be higher TD, and this is a low. This is a 0.8 TD light gray.
What is the poly light?
Gray?
No, the poly white. The poly light white.
Oh, it's a 5.
It's a 5.
Yeah. And
Wow.
5's not. It's still usable. It's usable for certain things, but you're not going to get, the deep blending you're going to get here from a 16. With a 5, it's going to be much harsher. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys hopping on. Unfortunately, I do need to end the stream earlier than normal.
All right, guys.
Thank you for hopping in and
Yep.
watching. Everyone have a great Labor Day weekend. I will be around. My wife's out of town a bit, so there might be a stream just spun up randomly. Just keep an eye on my YouTube or Twitch for notifications, because I'm not gonna send out things, and I'll just share a public link.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You need people, let me know.
Board, join me. If not, I'll be working on printers all weekend. So
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Alligator.
Everyone have a good one. I'm going to end the broadcast.